Mark, you must have been very encouraged about Tuesday night, chance to reflect on it, and I thought a real control to your team's performance. I know in the game you don't feel like it, but watching the game, I always felt your team were in control of events.
Yeah, to be honest, but I felt in control at Bolton as well. Without the ball, I didn't feel under any pressure in that game. I think styles make fights as well, and I thought works both ways. I felt their style was suited to us, to the way we play, tackle Michael, and but likewise, you know, if potentially they execute their game plan properly, it might have swung the other way. But to answer your question, was very, very pleased.
And you've had a present today, another signing, another addition to your squad.
Yeah, really pleased to get Jack over the line. We've had our eye on him for some time. Very, very good player. Very, very good technically with both feet, like incredibly two-footed, which is unique in modern football. Really good size, good athlete, good defender. So a lot of people chasing him. So really pleased to get that done.
And he gives you real versatility, doesn't he? As you mentioned, two-footed, could play left wing back, right wing back, and also, if you have issues, be in midfield as well. So a real good starter, but also a player that if you have issues at a certain part of the pitch, you can cover.
Yeah, and it was one of the reasons why we identified him. It was funny today because I was saying to him, playoff final, you got to take a penalty. Assume he's going to say right foot, and he was like, yeah, probably my right. And I thought that's, you know, very interesting to hear somebody speak like that. But yeah, his versatility and his adaptability to play in several positions was a key factor as well.
And I guess to have that cover for Jayden and competition for both as last as well. Important. I thought when we were at Bolton last week with Jayden out, of course Sean moving out, you lose a centre half effectively, so it's good for you in terms of coping with these things.
Yeah, absolutely. We are marginally light in that area. I mean, that's where I see Sean, it's where I like to keep him. I don't want to play him left wing back. I think he was outstanding there last year, but I think he's better as a left-sided centre half. I think he feels more comfortable there. And I think it gives Sean the best opportunity to maximise himself and see his talent flourish. So yes, it certainly helps in that area. And you know, we have to say that, you know, any player that comes in and they want to play, and Jack's no different. You know, he's not coming to sit on the bench, no different. Neither has Jayden. You can only pick 11 players, so it's a good headache to have. And
looking at what else you might need, a centre back, I would have thought, is certainly a must. And I know you've talked about possibly having an attacking player, but possibly one, maybe two more.
No, look, 100%. There's no point beating around the bush. Like we haven't been able to get a centre half through the door through no fault of our own. We've lost 3 in the summer, effectively, with Regan, Joe, and unfortunately Lewis's injury. And we've worked tirelessly to fix that, and that was one of our real priorities. But it's been very, very difficult to nail down to no fault of our own. So we would still really be keen to do that.
But still a pretty good position to be in terms of recruitment with what just come out to the first week of the season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We're very pleased. We're pushing hard. So again, I've said it before. You're in the hands of other people, but we are trying.
In terms of what that may mean for the current squad, could somebody like Jay Ben be looking at a loan move? Because obviously somebody's coming in to a position where he's a backup at the moment.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
We'll move on. Let's talk about the game coming up, and Wycombe, a club that have gone through some change. Obviously, the manager coming in towards the tail end of last season, so they're going through perhaps a change process that you're a little bit further down the road on.
Yeah, look, it's a really good question. It's really broad. I don't have the answers for it personally. I don't know what Matt's plans are or how he sees the game, where he wants to change from the style of the brand that they've had in before. I'm not saying it was great or it was poor in any way, shape or form. You know, I thought last week against Exeter they'd certainly tried to play a lot more football. I don't know whether results will change his mind or what that looks like. He's got good players to bring in. He's good players who started. So I think, like with anybody in the league, like there's arguably 13 new managers in our league this year. So I think it's going to wait and see what those styles and philosophies look like. There's 7 new teams have entered the league, and there's multiple clubs with new managers. And then I look at people like Matt, maybe John at Portsmouth, who haven't been in that long. You know, perhaps, I don't know, perhaps still trying to find a way, trying to find the brand of what they want to do. I don't know is my answer to that. but only time will tell us that.
Home form was good last season. It's important if you're going to have a successful campaign.
But do you know what? I've not even thought about it. One of the keys to successes is winning games. That's pretty obvious, and it's normally easier to win games at home than it is away. The people say to me the hardest thing to do in football is win a game. It's not. It's winning away from home. It's bloody hard, trust me. And I thought last year our home record clearly was impressive. And a lot of people were, I would say, not at our club, but I think a lot of journalistic response to our draws I felt was negative, which was, I looked at it and thought, well, if we'd have lost 10 of those 20 games, we'd have probably been 18th, 19th. And it gave us momentum, but I can honestly say I don't remember drawing one game at home. The least we deserved in every game was a draw. I can honestly say that. Did I think we won a couple of games we probably didn't deserve to win? Yeah. Didn't think we deserved to lose them, but every game we drew over the course of the season, I felt we deserved at least a draw, and which obviously equals what I'm going to say at home. But we'd rather turn them draws into wins for sure, and we were very proud of our home record. But it's actually not something I'd even thought about till you mentioned it. So, but a nice thing to think about.
And in terms of reconnecting with the home fans, obviously you've had very good away following nearly 1,000 at Bolton, 1,600 at Notts County, when you think that's about 30% of what your season ticket sales are travelling to an away game, albeit an hour away, but nonetheless a chance to reconnect with all the fans on Saturday.
Yeah, I've missed that, and when we've presented to players this year and we're going through our DNA and our style and our identity, the thing that always stands out to me is the home games and the connection with the fans. And so looking forward to that. Missed that. It's played a huge part in our success last year, there's no doubt about it. I've said it multiple times, there's definitely games we wouldn't have got through without them. And by the way, that's not been me being creepy. I think that goes for any club, any manager will say the same. I've seen several managers talking about it the other day. Your fans are so important. And I suppose a better example, I was at Leeds Shrewsbury last night, and it was really edgy, and the Leeds went 1-0 down, and the team got booed off, and it can play such a part, and Leeds responded in the second half and were outstanding, but we've got a group of fans that just continually get behind us from start to finish. I think a good example was Peterborough away when we lost heavily last year. We got bizarrely, gratefully and thankfully we got a standing ovation. It was something I'll never forget. So I think how the fans have connected and behaved towards us has been, especially with the young group, it's been a real standout thing for me since I've been at the club.
And those fans have got the reward in the Carabao Cup, a draw against a Premier League club, and just over the hour, just at the A57 over Dunham Bridge to get there for them. So something I know it's a few games away, but for the fans, something to look forward to.
I thought it was a brilliant draw. I haven't really spoken to anybody about it. I thought it was an outstanding draw. I was delighted. It's a Premier League club. It's a great club. Hugely supported. So hopefully there'll be a big crowd on the night. And I know with it being with the way our fans support us, but it certainly helps that it's nearer. I'm sure we'll have a huge following. And in all the years I've been involved in football, Bramall Lane is a special place. It'll be a great night for everybody.